Welcome, friends, to another installment of Plaid Stallion's Toy Ventures. I am your host, Brian, and this week we are going back to the year 3978 to visit a planet run by apes. And we're going to talk about one of the most memorable Planet of the Apes playsets made for the era, and while most people would associate the words Planet of the Apes playset with Mego, this one was actually done by a company called Multiple Toymakers. Multiple was a New York-based firm, a division of another company called Minor, and they would eventually just change their name to Minor Industries. In the 1960s, they were known for some very iconic toys, namely the licensing of programs such as Fireball XL5. However, their most well-known endeavor would have to be their attachment to the James Bond license, making such iconic items such as the attaché case. Licensing aside, Multiple's bread and butter, if you will, were the making of, for lack of a better word, Army Men-style figure assortments and play sets. Figures are of the injected plastic monocolor variety that we all played with in the sandbox, and their most popular recurring themes appear to be Army Men, cowboys, and dinosaurs. This should come as a shock to no one who was a kid ever. During the 1970s, Multiple started a line called Quick Sale Playsets. These were lower cost, but appeared to be high-value items that featured Army and Western themes. This is where they started licensing again, and anything that could fit that template, where, if it had soldiers or it had cowboys on horseback, these are the sort of things that would allow them to leverage their original tooling against, a little bit of creative tooling for whatever characters they had to add. So some of the more logical additions to Multiple's lineup in the 1970s were the Lone Ranger, MASH, and they even did a Kung Fu set, and they put Kwai Chang Caine on a horse, which he never did in the series, but I forgive it. I love it. And of course, Planet of the Apes has not only Jeeps, but apes on horseback, if you consider the Battle for the Planet of the Apes film. This made it an ideal subject for Multiple, and they released several different iterations of this set. The one you're seeing right now is the one referred to as the Quick Sale playset, and as you can see in a side-by-side comparison with Kung Fu, they are essentially the same item in many respects. You get a play environment, you get a baggie of different characters. In the Kung Fu case, it is cowboys. In the Planet of the Apes case, it is a bag of Army Men. Nothing is quite right to scale. You get some hand-painted color figurines of the characters themselves. In this case, you get a soldier ape on horseback, Zira, and Doctor Zaius. And let's talk a little bit about these characters. You may notice that in the 1970s, there's a lot of blue Doctor Zaius merchandise, and I can tell you exactly why that is. The first licensor to Planet of the Apes that really took off was a company called Adar, and that was a model kit company run by former executives from Aurora Plastics. One of the first releases they made was a Doctor Zaius model kit, and he was blue on the package. And you'll also notice the Zira box, she is wearing like this kind of dark tan. My only guess about this is when the Planet of the Apes licensing explosion happened, the Adar model kit artwork was included in the package to potential licensors, and they all copied it. I say this because not only do these figures look just like the Adar Plastics artwork, when you look at the Target set that Multiple also released, you can see that there's some very clever swipes of the Adar Plastics artwork there. I've also seen it on things like bowls and balloons. So, yeah, there was a lot of sharing going on, and that was very common in the days before style guides. Multiple made 4 different Planet of the Apes sets in the mid-1970s, the lowest cost being the Planet of the Apes Target set. As the catalog describes, a sure winner, this Target set comes complete with a Planet of the Apes figure that's hand-painted and mounted on his horse. 3 printed cardboard targets which stand on molded plastic bases, plus target gun and safety rubber-tipped darts. The sword on those soldier apes is always broken. The second set was known as the Mini Playset. This is one I wish I owned. It included Cornelius, Doctor Zaius, Zira, and 2 guerrilla warriors on horseback, all figures hand-painted. It's a nice set. It includes all the figures. Cornelius is not included in the set I own, and I kind of want him. He is only available in this set and in the Deluxe 67-piece playset. It was originally advertised as having a box that looked like this. From what I gather from Planet of the Apes collectors, this doesn't really exist. It only has been shown in the catalog, and it came in a box that looks more like this. This was a catalog advertised item, and you can also find it in a generic brown mailer box. It is the rarest of the sets, and probably the most desirable of the lot. While they're crude, have no articulation to speak of, and aren't even really in scale with each other, there's just something about these sets that completely captures my imagination. The idea of being able to recreate the battle scene from Battle for the Planet of the Apes is just really intriguing to me, and I know that I would have had thousands of hours of fun with one of these. In fact, in the 1980s when I got my first set, where I probably paid about $20 for it, I did take it out of the box and set it up on my desk because it was just so cool. Do you have a fondness for Army Men style figures like this? Let me know in the comments below, or you can hit me up in our Facebook group, Pod Stallions. I'll put a link below. Or just hit me up on the Plaid Stallions Facebook page. No wrong way to do it. Thanks as always for watching. If you're new to this, I hope you'll consider hitting like and subscribe. Until next time, talk toys, not people, and please, take good care of yourself.